If you're asked to find the height of triangle BAC, where BC is the base, and they tell you that it's an equilateral triangle, you might feel like, okay, that's not so bad, it's an equilateral triangle. I know a little bit about equilateral triangles. I saw it back on the formula chart over here, and I feel pretty comfortable with that. This problem's a little bit harder than you may think, though, because the numbers aren't so nice. If you see, the C is not landing nicely as a nice point, and however A and B are. So you have a little bit of an extra step here. First thing you're going to have to do is figure out what the distance is from A to B. Since it's on a grid for you, you can just use Pythagorean theorem, or you can use the distance formula. I'm just going to use Pythagorean theorem. My rise and my run will be my legs of this little right triangle right here. And that'll allow me to find this C. So that'll be the first thing I'll do so I can figure out what the length of the side of this equilateral triangle is. And if I count, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the height. So using Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 7 is my height, or one of the legs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the other leg. And 7 squared, if you 7 times 7 is 49. 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. And adding that up, I get 74 is c squared. And take the square root of both sides to find your distance. And you get C is equal to the square root of 74. Now, after you have got that, you know that all of the sides of this equilateral triangle are the square root of 74. Now, here's the problem. The question wants us to find the height of this equilateral triangle. So I'm going to cut it in half. And when I cut it in half, I now have a 30, 60, 90. And I have just cut this angle in half and got 30 on each side, but I've also cut the side in half. So each of these would just be the square root of 74 divided by 2. Don't stress about the number. Your calculator is going to handle all the hard work for you. So in Algebra 2, you'll get to a level higher where you can deal with that. Now, from our formula chart, we know that we could put these formulas on top of our picture. So I've got the number right here, and since this one's opposite of the 30, I'm going just like this one is. Since it's opposite the 30, I'm going to put x. Opposite the 60, I'm going to put x squared root of 3. And opposite the 90, I'm going to put 2x. And this is just from your formula chart. So this one's equal to x. This one over here is equal to 2x. And this one here is your height. And it's equal to x squared root of 3. Now, what I'm going to do next is I see that x is equal to 74, square root of 74 over 2. I'm just going to plug that in for the x. And I'm going to multiply that number by the square root of 3. From here, you're just going to let your calculator do the work, or you could write it as square root of 3 times the square root of 74 all over 2, which ends up being the square root of 222 over 2, and you can approximate that with a decimal in your calculator if you would like.